ご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we know you can't take it anymore. That's why it's another Saturday night. It's 8 p.m., and this is OJ-FWA Fight TV with your host, as usual, Johnny Walters. And as announced at the end of the show last week, here's our big debut match for the woman known as Olga Jagr. And that is, of course, Jagr, not Jagger, as some people would like to say. She is, of course, one of the group of women, of experienced women who have signed up with OJ-FWA about a month or two ago. We've already seen the debut of one of their group, Hiroko Hayashi, and of course here we have Olga Jagr herself. Now, I have been told that I really cannot go into their previous company, but I will indeed, in the future, go into some of their history and some of their past. Now, of course, what I can tell you is that she was a member of a group known as the Hardcore Edge as of late 2010, as well as a former champion in that promotion, which I cannot name. I believe they called their belt the Knockouts Championship. She was a champion for that promotion, and time will only tell if she will replicate that kind of success here in the OJ-FWA arena. However, we're seeing her opponent here. I believe we saw her take on Hiroko Hayashi last time, and she had a pretty good showing of herself here too. We still do not know the name of this opponent here. We know Olga Jagr's name, but the dark-haired woman we do not know, or at least the offices are not telling me. But all I know is she was getting in some pretty good offense there. Had Jagr in a submission hold, but there's Jagr showing her dominance right there. Grabbing her opponent by the hair. Now just choking her out. But unfortunately a little too close to the ropes there. Jagr, full of confidence. However, her opponent firing back, grabbing that arm. Trying to tweak that elbow. Whoa, duck under that strike. Whoa, and again. Both going after each other here. And quite frankly, I'd like to find out a little more about this dark-haired woman here as Olga Jagr fires away in that corner. Jagr, what's she doing here? Oh, we got a slingshot here on the ropes and right, the lower back right onto the knees there. Good God. I think that's gotta hurt. And speaking of that's gotta hurt, going back to that lower back area, pulling back on those shoulders. In her variation of the camel clutch, and wait a minute, there she goes again with it. Good God, I would not want to be caught in that move. Jagr showing us exactly why she was the champion in her former life. And she's extremely smart too, going back to that lower back. And by the way, what a beautiful Enzurigiri she was able to hit. Probably give Amy Chen's Enzurigiri a run for its money. Firing away with those forearms. This dark-haired woman probably doesn't know what to make of it. Knocking her out of the ring. I believe Hiroko Hayashi did pretty much the same thing to her in their match. What kind of games are being played here? One enters the ring, one leaves the ring, and Tommy Thompson got a little bit too close. Tommy Thompson is an idiot sometimes. Sometimes I wonder if he's, well, a little effective, if you catch my drift. Again, Olga Jagr with that beautiful Enzurigiri, taking down this dark-haired woman and going back to that modified Boston Crab of sorts, which, of course, not only disrupts any neural connections in the lower back, the spine region, but also can really mess up your arms and shoulders as well. Probably create little minor injuries that will eventually create a nagging injury in this woman here. Able to nail that Thez press plus punches. Oh, God. Back. Olga Jagr's back hitting this woman's knee. We really got to get some identification on this dark-haired woman here. Jagr tossed it to the corner. Jagr being put up on the top of the ropes. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Oh, Jagr getting out of harm's way. Whoa! Woman playing games here. Oh, and what a clothesline, taking Jagr down. Could this lead to an inauspicious debut for Olga Jagr, a former champion? Seemingly being taken methodically apart by this, as of now, nameless woman, who I'm sure many in the back thought was just merely enhancement talent and firing away with those mounted punches. Jagr is in trouble here. She is being picked apart here. Jagr's got to find a hole. She's got to find a hole in that offense and take advantage of it. This woman here. Like I said before, we got to find out who this woman is. She's doing quite well. Ooh! And again, a clothesline. And again with those mounted punches. Jagr. She's up, but she can't stand still. She's wobbling. Gut wrench suplex by this woman here. And again, firing away with those stomps. Especially vicious are the ones to the forehead. And that clothesline again knocking Jagr down. Jagr's got to counter something. She's got to mount some sort of offense. Ooh! Planted face and chest first into that ring apron there. Oh, and now the knee gets it. Jagr finally fighting back with that beautiful crucifix takeover. And again, going for the head. Trying to take all that oxygen. Keep it from reaching the brain. Jagr looks like she's saying, now it's time. Oh, what a nice submission maneuver there. Will she get it? She's still holding in there. However, her opponent hasn't given up yet. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We see the opponent there. Getting out of that maneuver with some stiff blows to the head of Olga Jagr. Oh, and a knee to the face. Rocks Jagr. And another knee to the face. And another clothesline with such force that that woman, she's still flying with the momentum there. And an elbow drop. Lands it. Quite frankly, if I was her, I'd have gone for the pin right there. I don't know what's going through this woman's head here. To the back. Nice stiff forearm to the back. And a monkey flip by Jagr. And again, going back to working on that head there, which she's done in between working on the back. Wait a minute, what's this? We have a Cobra Clutch Sleeper here. And the woman taps. It's over. Your winner, Olga Jagr. What an exciting debut match that was. Olga Jagr victorious here in this encounter. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of her in the future in OJ-FWA. In fact, I'm looking forward to seeing her against her former classmates, as it were, in her previous promotion. Now, let's take you back
Still
to Fight TV,
very
or
quickly.
Amazonas. was taken on
And a kick to the
Waku
back of the
Watanabe.
head.
Let's catch the end of this match.
That could do it.
The cover by Amazonas. Tommy Thompson counts 1, 2, and 3. Amazonas is your winner here. I have got to give it up to Waku Watanabe here. I hope she impressed Liliana with that show of courage and fire and determination. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, what are you doing, Amazonas? Okay, she's setting her up for this. But she's finished many a match with that maneuver. She has got to stay down. She's just going to get even more hurt. I think she's unconscious. I think she's popping up because... Oh no, okay, come on now. This is just unnecessary. This is completely unnecessary. Absolutely disgusting. Wait a minute. Moemi's grabbing the mic. No. Absolutely disgusting. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The crowd picks up on something. What's going on here? It's Liliana. Running in the ring. Both Amazonas and Moemi going straight after Moemi. Both competitors leave that ring in a hurry. Liliana looks like she's had enough here. And yes, indeed, Brad Harris will indeed be facing the spoiler later on tonight. But speaking of Moemi Amano, his manager, she once herself had an issue with the spoiler. Let's take you back to SNF 2 from the Hammerstein Ballroom.
So long have I waited, and in this cheap, tawdry arena, I will no longer be forsaken. It is my time to rise to the ancients. Bitch! I love you.
Well, on that note, we'll be right back.
生懸命が好きです。僕は DC マスターカードを選びました。ハートにショック。ニュープライジャー。
And thank you for continuing to be with us here. Once again, you are watching OJ-FWA Fight TV with Johnny Walters here as your host, and in our main event of the night, it's the Iceman, Brad Harris, with Moemi Amano in his corner. And of course, as mentioned earlier, he is taking on the vicious Spoiler. Now, Brad Harris, compared to many of the other competitors here in OJ-FWA, is still a relative newcomer, so to speak. Granted, he's been here since, around 2009 or so. But the fact of the matter is, he is still pretty much a newcomer compared to the more experienced likes of our former champion, Hidenori Tsujimoto. And, of course, especially against someone like Asano Mori, or even Kazu. And especially against one known as the Spoiler. This will be a test. This will indeed be a test of Brad Harris. The Spoiler. He will not allow a technical wrestling match. The Spoiler, very much in love with what is known as the garbage style of professional wrestling. Will it come down to that? Will it come down to a match? Will it come down to a fight to see who can swing a chair quickest or whatever? We don't know. But I have the feeling that that's exactly the direction it's going to be. And those guitar riffs signal the entrance of the Spoiler. Spoiler certainly having gained some weight since SNF2. Known as being an overall creep, stalking women whenever he comes here. Of course, management always tries to keep him separate as possible from the mainstream OJ-FWA group. But, well, what can you say? He gets loose. Certainly seems to enjoy it. He either really enjoys screaming out for women in this company, or he truly is in love with each and every one of them. And here we go. We see the stare down as they meet in the center of the ring. Harris reverses that hammer throw into a Hurricane Rana there, which barely even gets a 1 count. Spoiler going right to work. Oh, and a clothesline. Spoiler very unorthodox, very vicious in his tactics. And there's Amano doing exactly what she does for her opponents, distracting the easily distractible Tommy Thompson, but it works in Brad Harris's favor, as Harris was able to power out of that camel clutch. Now it's a battle of the punches and the kicks here, as a Spoiler takes control. Dropping Brad Harris on his chest. Spoiler trying to discombobulate those shoulders and those arms, probably removing the arms from their shoulder sockets. Brad Harris taking that arm and giving the favor right back to the Spoiler. We have a rope break there. However, Brad Harris did not let go. However, that didn't stop the Spoiler from being able to spin out of it. And a big chop. Lights up the Spoiler, but Spoiler way too quick for that. able to grab that quick toe hold. Going back and forth here. The spoiler not letting Harris get any real momentum. Moemi looking like she was going for the spoiler's leg there. Oh, and a vicious blow to the back sends Brad Harris down. Now, we all know the spoiler is a hell of a brawler, a hell of a fighter. We've seen him many times on Fight TV. Give the fight to whoever he is facing, be it Asano Mori or Shallow. But one thing that is rarely reported is the power of the spoiler, which we could see the effects of that with that bulldog. And a punch, which I'm sure would have taken Harris off his feet had he been on his feet. Harris trying to close those hands, complete the grasp, as it were, but I don't believe he was able to in that full Nelson. Therefore, the spoiler able to power out very quickly. Spoiler. Harris not letting anything happen. Oh, ducks under that clothesline, sending the spoiler over the top rope there. Harris pulling him right back in. Very smart of Harris there. If spoiler can get out of there, then, you know, he could go right under that ring and search for whatever miscellaneous objects he can find in that storage area under the ring. Harris, nice suplex. Harris now pushing away. We have a crucifix pin here, but yep, too close to the ropes. And a chop. Harris looking like he's mocking the spoiler. Spoiler looked like he went for an attack, but Harris completely pushing the spoiler away. Harris to the back. Now this time it's the spoiler not letting Brad Harris get anything. Flips over for what I thought was going to be another crucifix pin, but it ended up being a neck breaker and perhaps a very good choice of maneuvers here. The spoiler is known for having a rather hard head here, but it looks like these blows are still having an effect. And again, he goes for that crucifix, but again, way too close for the ropes. And a beautiful DDT. The momentum of which had Harris's head popping off of the ring apron, and we see that beautiful cap kick there. I had a chance to speak with Harris in the back. He said that as far as OJ-FWA aspirations, he does want to face the current champion. If the championship board will allow him. Right now, we have our #1 contender, Asano Mori. No, pardon me, we have our #1 contender, Flash Jones, who beat Asano Mori in a past edition of Fight TV. We also have the winner of a recent Battle Royal in Tiger Miyazawa. You could say those are the #1 and #2 contenders there. Of course, Miyazawa would have liked to have his name be at #1, and as we saw that beautiful German suplex from the spoiler that basically folded Harris like an accordion and a vicious spine buster. I apologize for missing that action when it first happened. But honestly, a lot of this stuff is very important to communicate to you guys. The spoiler in control at this moment. However, it looks like Harris finally has a chance to fight back. Spoiler, again, not letting anything happen. A headlock. Grinding in that headlock. You know, you could win a match if your opponent taps to a headlock. And I know people say, oh, just a headlock, huh? Well, you know, have you ever been in a headlock? I have. It hurts. Wait a minute now. Oh, I think Spoiler wrapped his leg around that top rope there and was able to garner that momentum to send him back down. Harris. Looked like his leg may have given out on him. But however, regardless of what may have happened, Harris still able to pop back with that beautiful calf kick. Sizing him up with those elbows. And another beautiful DDT by the Spoiler. Getting a lot of elevation there. And again, goes for that camel clutch as again, Moemi attempting to interfere on behalf of her client. What's Moemi getting up there for? What's she distracting the ref for? Wait a minute, what a beautiful maneuver on the part of Brad Harris. And he goes for the pin here. Tommy Thompson counts 1, 2, and 3. Well, I don't think she really needed to distract the referee for that. She still did it, and it still ended up in a victory for Brad Harris with that beautiful maneuver. He usually tries to use a kind of a diamond cutter type maneuver as his deep freeze, but hey, whatever works. Your winner, Brad Harris. Could he be a number 3 contender for the championship? Who knows? And ladies and gentlemen, speaking of our champions, it's very rare that we have our champions on Fight TV. However, they will both be there. The women's champion, Mary Regan. The Sekai Ninja Kyoja, Caleb Dodd, they'll both be there. Don't miss next week on Fight TV.